So last week was a horrible week for me to say the least, right? And it's not so much that something happened that made me feel that way. It was more so that my spirit just felt low for whatever reason that I'm unaware of, right? And I'm really starting to realize that no matter how much self-improvement you do, no matter how far along you are on your self-improvement or your self-love journey, there are gonna be those days in which your spirit feels low for whatever reason. There are gonna be those days in which you don't feel at your best, right? And I really think that when we find ourselves feeling those feelings, right? A lot of us feel the need to sort of put on a mask and act as if everything is okay even when it's not. Or we believe that we're supposed to be feeling different from how we're feeling in the moment, right? And I really think it's important for us to simply allow our bad days to simply be our bad days. To simply allow whatever it is that we're feeling in the moment to be as it is, right? I remember making a video like a month ago or so, probably 2 months ago. Can't even remember. But in the video I was saying that one of the secrets to truly living is to experience whatever it is that you're experiencing in the moment, right? Experience whatever it is that you're experiencing fully. And when it's time to let it go, you simply let it go and you allow it to pass through you, right? And I really think when it comes on to our negative feelings and our negative emotions, we go wrong in two main ways, right? The first way we go wrong is that a lot of us feel the need to sort of fight against our emotions, right? We feel the need to fight against them, and resist them. And in resisting them, they have no choice to persist because whatever it is that you resist has no choice but to persist, right? The second way we go wrong is that a lot of us hold on to our negative emotions and our negative feelings way longer than we should. Not only do we hold on to them, but we identify with them, right? And in holding on to them, they have no choice but to persist as well. And I really think if we sort of allow ourselves to be present with whatever emotion or feeling that we're experiencing in the moment, right? We allow ourselves to be present with it and we bring awareness to it, then that awareness and that presence will simply take care of those negative emotions and those negative feelings on their own, right? And I think a lot of us greatly underestimate the power of awareness. I always say that awareness is the true catalyst of change, right? And awareness is sort of like the light that illuminates the darkness. And whenever you bring awareness to whatever feeling that you're feeling in the moment, you are surrendering that feeling to a power, to a great power that will take care of that feeling on its own. And you don't have to do anything about it, but simply bring it to your awareness. And even last week when I was feeling those low feelings, right? Last week when, I was feeling low, all I did was allow myself to watch that feeling. All I did was identify that feeling, bring it to my awareness, right? I didn't try to fight it and I didn't hold on to it. All I did was watch it and become aware of it, right? And before you know it, that feeling passed on its own. I simply went about my day and I did whatever that I usually do, throughout my days. And before you know it, that low feeling that I was feeling for the few days is simply past. And I think, I'm really realizing that those storms, those mini storms, those internal storms of life, they will always be present. They will always, gonna be times in which you feel those low feelings because they are a natural part of life. They are a natural part of this experience that we call life, right? And I like to even compare, I compare us to nature, right? Because we're really no different from nature. If you were to observe nature, you begin to realize that nature has those times in which nature has storms. If you look at the sky isn't always clear. There are going to be times in which the sky has dark clouds, right? And us, we are the same way. There are going to be times in which we have storms. There are going to be times in which we have lows. There are going to be times in which we're not feeling at our best, right? And if we just allow those feelings to be as they are, if we simply allow them to pass without the need to fight against them, without the need to hold on to them, then ultimately those feelings will go on their own. Those lows and those internal storms that we all battle, because we all have to deal with them, right? They will simply pass. And I think our mindset has to be, or we have to sort of approach those feelings with a sense of optimism, right? If we allow ourselves to sort of be optimistic whenever we're feeling those low feelings, then I think ultimately how we experience them will be different, right? I often say that, a new low is preparing us for a new high, right? Whenever we feel it, we feel those low feelings, if we approach them with a level of optimism, then ultimately our experience of them will be different, right? I like to think of it like a swing, right? If you think about it, the further momentum a swing has going back, the further momentum it has going forward. And I think those storms, they're kind of the same way. Those low feelings we're experiencing or we experience, they are the same way in the sense that they can be molding us to become a more resilient version of ourselves. They can be molding us into being a more refined and improved version of ourselves, right? And when I sort of look back at my past and I look back at the times in which I felt really low, right? Times when I was experiencing those low feelings. Whenever I passed through those low moments of my life, they made me more resilient. They made me a stronger version of myself. They made me a better version of myself, right? And those low feelings are very often molding us into the version of ourselves that we know we can become. But our mindset towards them has to be different for us to fully, gain the benefit from those experiences, right? Our mindset towards those storms and those low feelings has to be a mindset of positivity for us to reap the reward of those low feelings, right? And so if you find yourself experiencing that low feeling in this moment, right? If you're feeling low, if your spirit has been low, right? You have to understand that that is a natural part of life. You have to understand that there's nothing really wrong at all. We all experience them at some point, right? We all have moments in which we do feel low. And it truly is just about allowing yourself to be present with those feelings. It's about allowing yourself to be optimistic whenever you're feeling low. And don't feel a need to fight against it. And don't hold on to it no longer or longer than you should. Simply be present with those low feelings. Allow them to be there. Watch them, experience them, right? Bring them to your awareness. And before you know it, they will pass, right? Because a storm, it never lasts forever. Right? A storm that you're experiencing in the moment, it won't be long until it passes. Right? And if you allow yourself to be optimistic, if you allow yourself to be present, and you approach it with the mindset that this is working in your favor, then that low feeling that you're sort of resenting in the moment will sort of very often become the best thing that ever happened to you. You will look back at that experience and you will be sort of thankful that you went through that, because that experience or that feeling that you felt helped you to become a better version of yourself, helped you to be more resilient, helped you to be more refined, right? It truly will. So let those feelings be there. Allow them to be there and be present with them. Don't fight against them and don't hold on to them, right? Allow them to pass through you, because they really won't last forever. And whatever it is that you experience in this life, no matter how bad it might seem in the moment, or no matter how low you might feel in the moment, just know that everything is really working in your favor. Just know that everything is really part of a plan for you to elevate and become a better version of yourself. And even in the moments you feel at your lowest, you can be optimistic, right? You can be, in a sense, positive even in your lowest states. And as paradoxical as that sounds, you can, because I find myself being a lot more optimistic whenever I hit a low. And I simply just allow those feelings to be there. I watch them, I bring awareness to them, and they ultimately pass through me and take care of themselves, right? So yeah, I don't want to make this a long video. Yeah, so stay optimistic, stay present, and allow the storm to pass, because storms truly don't last forever. Peace and blessings.